The media landscape in the U.S. is collapsing as journalism outlets at the national, state, and local levels close or gut staff. 1/3 of the country's newspapers have shut down, and 2/3 of its newspaper journalists have lost jobs since 2005. An average of 2.5 newspapers closed each week in 2023, compared to 2 a week in 2022. The decimation of local news outlets is even worse, where papers are closing and layoffs have been nearly constant. In the last 2 decades, nearly 3,000 of the country's 9,000 newspapers have closed, and 43,000 newspaper journalists have lost their jobs. The bloodletting is only accelerating. Business Insider is eliminating 8% of its workforce. The Los Angeles Times recently laid off 120 journalists, more than 20% of the newsroom, after cutting 74 newsroom positions last June. Time magazine has announced impending layoffs. Journalism at its best makes the powerful accountable. But as media organizations decline and news deserts expand, the press, increasingly anemic, is also coming under attack from political demagogues and sites masquerading as news platforms. Fake news, misinformation, salacious rumors, and lies fill the void. Civil society is paying the price. I wonder to that extent, and you raise this in your book, The Plunderers, that people know something's wrong. These aren't private equity firms. Now they're kind of pillaging the country. That people know something's wrong, but they don't quite know what it is. And that, of course, this compounds that. And to what extent does that give fodder or rise to a figure like Trump?
It absolutely elevates a figure like Trump because he can tap into that uncertainty. He can tap into that, I don't know why I'm upset, but I'm upset. There's a reason why it is. Well, the reason why it is because you can't put food on the table, or your pension has been eviscerated, or your healthcare costs are through the roof. These are all things that pressure people's day-to-day lives. And so if you aren't understanding those pressures, where they're coming from, who's exerting them on you, then you're just going to have this sort of nebulous, worry, concern, unease about your life. And here comes some demagogue that says, I'm going to make it better for you. I'm going to fix all that. I'm going to, these elites over here are causing the problems for you. I'm going to make them go away. I'm going to get rid of them. He'll be able to fill a void because he'll say, this is what's ailing you, and I'm going to fix it.
But it also feeds conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Because something's wrong.
Right.
But it's behind the wall. You don't really understand the machinery. You just know something's wrong.
Well, and this is circular because oftentimes there is something wrong, and oftentimes it is something wrong within a government, for example. But this feeds into this deep state notion that the government is out to get everyone, and that the government can't do the job, and that private industry will be better able to do the job. It's a circular thing. It feeds into that notion for sure. Well, I'm a business reporter, and so where I see that coming in is the celebration of CEOs, the celebration of, and CEOs are the celebrities, right?
Yeah.
In business,
like Bezos and these
in
figures.
business
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah,
So, holding these people up as geniuses, and really not questioning them, that's very corrosive. You're absolutely right. So I don't cover the entertainment world, and so I don't really pay attention to that, but I see the same thing happening in the notion that these are people to be really lauded and revered instead of questioned and, really held to account for what they do. It's almost as though the fact that they have risen to this position of power and all the money that comes with it insulates them from any kind of investigation, any kind of questions or skepticism. And you do have a lot of reporters who really buy into that these CEOs, well, they're a CEO, why would I question what they're doing?
Well, they want access to.
They want access to them. They want to be invited to the party.
Right.
I don't want to be
Right,
invited to
no,
the party.
Nor do I. But they do. And, I used to see that in Washington. But
Washington is a whole nother level